Hey there, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be doing a review of the Kenworth T800 with a 13-speed manual transmission. This is a 2014, so it's an older truck that you're probably not even going to see a whole lot more of at this point, but this is what I've had for a rental for the last couple of weeks. So I figured I would kind of throw in a review of this the way I have the other trucks I've been driving, to give you guys my opinion on it anyways for the short time that I've had it. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this, and I'll tell you all what I think about this truck that I've had for about a week now. So here we go. All right, we're gonna start over here on the passenger side, because one thing that I really like about this truck is the 120-gallon fuel tank. Single tank, 120 gallons. I guess the only downside of that is it takes a little bit longer to fuel up than having dual tanks, but it has a really good capacity, which is nice. We never have to top off or anything like that, so that's definitely a bonus compared to the last rental truck that I had. But here it is. It's got, I also want to show you, it's got this little like extension on the back. You see how it kind of like pops out a little bit? That's super handy because it's all storage, and I will show you that once we get to the inside. But here's a quick view of it. It's got the nice old school mirrors all the way around. I overall love the look of the truck. I like the square headlights as well. But yeah, it's not too bad. There's the DEF tank, and now we'll go ahead and jump right up into it. So I guess one of the first things I would mention is this has the old school little foot switch for the steering wheel, which I think is kind of cool. I like those, not for any particular reason. They're just nifty. But the other thing is it has a weird pedals. You got your high clutch over here. Your brake is that weird long thing, and then your fuel pedal is like this floating pedal. It's very unusual. They're not terrible, but they're a little rough on my ankle, not gonna lie. Like, my tendons in the front of my ankle get tired having my foot arched for that fuel pedal. I would say that's one of the only negatives of this truck, because overall I love this truck. It's pretty basically set up. It's a small cab. I can literally reach the passenger's door from the driver's seat. Like, it's very small and compact that way, but it has so much storage. This is behind the seats where that little pop out was that I showed you on the back of the cab. And look, we have a whole entire empty slot over there because there was more storage than we knew what to do with. All that space. And then it has a standard passenger seat with no air ride. So under here, there's a toolbox. I don't know if I can open it. That whole underside of that seat is just toolbox, which is awesome. And it's got a glove box as well. Like, it just has so much storage in such a small cab. It is perfect. It's even got the little cubbies up top, nothing crazy. It's got your CB cubby, which we don't currently have a CB in, but it's there. So yeah, it's just got crazy amount of storage. It's even got storage under the cup holders. I don't know if it will focus here. There's a big storage compartment right underneath the cup holders here. And then you've got your cup holders and a little cubby there as well. And then your dash is laid out like this. Usually in here you would have your suspension gauge if this was a truck we were going to use permanently. But where it's just a rental, those are just blank because they're not specified for anything in particular. So you got your air pressure, your fuel, your brakes, your DEF gauge, and all that good stuff. Our lift axle is just this random switch right here. And then we've got our 4-ways, engine brake, cruise control, your fifth wheel, suspension, your differential lock, and all that stuff right there. So it's got a pretty decent dash layout. The windshield wipers is actually on the tree on the steering column again, which is good because I did not like that about the Western Star, that it had the windshield wipers on the dash. That was just weird. You got your headlights up here, your headlights, marker lights. These are your visor lights and your fog lights. It's got the nice Bluetooth radio, all that good stuff. Overall, I just love the layout of this truck. Other thing, the box in between the seats is mine and my co-driver's. We usually have that in our trucks as something he built. But then it has this little cubby here that works great for our tablet. So it just has a perfect layout for all of our gear. The only other thing I would show is this is the driver's seat, which is an aftermarket seat. which I think is probably nicer than the original. The butt of this seat is a little bit long for me. My legs aren't quite long enough for it, but otherwise it's super comfortable. So I'm not going to complain too much because it fits me better than the one in the Western Star does. And yeah, that's pretty much the quick little show around. The most important part being right here. Good old-fashioned manual 13-speed transmission. Man, I have missed that. So yeah, that's the quick little tour, I guess. And I'm going to go ahead and flip you around. So yeah, those are my quick little thoughts on this truck. Overall, I really love this truck. Like I said, this is a 2014, so it's older. It's got almost 500,000 miles on it, but it runs like a champ. Love having the manual transmission. I absolutely love the layout of this cab. It has been my favorite rental truck so far, and I've had a couple of the older drivers tell me that this is one of their favorite trucks of all time, and I can totally see why. It has just been an awesome truck. I did just find out recently that we're probably going to be returning this one shortly. That's a confusing story, but I'm getting another different rental truck again because one of our new Western Stars is almost ready, and when that gets here, we're going to be taking over somebody else's rental truck and returning this one because it doesn't have a pump, and the other one does. So we're going to be getting a truck with a pump on it because that makes what we can do more versatile for the company. Long story short. So we will be losing this rental, which is a bummer to me because it's been my favorite so far. But it also means that I'll have another review video for you guys when I get the other one. I'm not entirely sure what year the other one is, but it's an older Freightliner Cascadia with the manual 10-speed transmission in it, so I'll show that one off. I think it's a Cascadia. I'm honestly not positive on that, so don't quote me on that. But when we get it from the other guys, I will show it off and do a review on it, just like I have the rest of these. And yeah, all in all, far prefer the manual transmission. Far prefer the layout of this cab. It is fantastic. Having the toolboxes, having the glove box, having the different cubbies is so important because there's so many things you need to carry with you. And both of those other trucks, the Western Star and the brand new Cascadia, both just did not have enough storage space. That would be my biggest issue with both of those trucks, would just be the lack of storage space. Granted, if you got them without the air ride passenger seat, that would provide you with some storage space, which would be better. But for the ones that I had, they didn't have the storage space under the passenger seat, and there was just nowhere to put anything. So, didn't like that. Wasn't a huge fan of the I wasn't a huge fan of the automatic transmission in the Cascadia or the automated manual in the Western Star. They've come a long way. The automatic was a little bit better than the automated manual, but they both just were not as good as the manual. You just didn't have as much control, and I prefer to have that control. So overall, I have just absolutely loved having this truck as a rental. It has been super fun to drive, and it has worked out very well for me. It pulls wonderfully. And I can get out into traffic better with the standard than I could with the automatic just because it shifted so slow and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty much all I have. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up now, but I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.